Good morning, everybody. Ayan. And welcome to this video. And in this video, we are going to talk about the 8 tips that I have prepared for you that you can implement today. So get your e-commerce store up and running this quarter 4. Okay, so you know naman that whenever it's Burr months, yan ang pinakamahalaga, pinakamasayang panahon or season in an e-commerce or in an entrepreneur's life. Sorry about that. Because it's the time of giving, it's Christmas season, and a lot of people are into buying mode, right? And especially now it's 2019, a lot of people already are opting to choose to buy online rather than go to the stores and go the holiday shopping tas pumila ng mahaba and all that crazy stuff. So it's a perfect opportunity for us e-commerce entrepreneurs to really position ourselves and find our way to earn 7 figures, probably, right, in the online shopping in the business world. So without further ado, I'm going to be sharing with you these 8 tips, especially if you already have a store right now. I also just wanted to put a disclaimer that the ideas that I will be providing here are not original, meaning to say I did not come up with this on my own. There are a lot of videos and a lot of mentors that I'm also following locally and internationally. So I mean, in this e-commerce space naman, nothing is original. Everything is already circulating online. So what I did is just to put, like, how do you say it, like a summary of the things that I think will be beneficial for you as an e-commerce seller. Okay? So this is for the people who already have stores running, and some of these are like kind of refresher to you, but you already know. Okay? So let's begin. Number 1, what is the number 1 most important metric that we look at e-commerce? Do you have an idea? So, sa lahat ng mga kinostomize mo sa column, what's the number 1 thing that we should look out to make sure that we are running okay? So, what's in your mind? Right. If your answer is ROAS or return on ad spend, that is correct. So this is one of the, actually, if not the most important thing, but one of the most important thing we need to look out to make sure that profitable tayo at hindi tayo nalulugi sa ating mga stores. Alright? So ROAS and the return on ad spend is like a breakdown of two. How can we make sure that yung ROAS natin is really good and it performs well? So number 1, it's breakdown on this two. To get a good ROAS, you must always consider these 2 ideas. So number 1 is the CPA, like how much do I spend to acquire such customer. In the e-commerce space, it's usually presented as the CPR, or the cost per purchase. How much did you spend for that customer to purchase, correct? And also the AOV, or the average selling price. So when you combine these two, these are what comes up, or ito yung pinaka-result or determining factor if your ROAS is going to be good or not. So some of the most applicable tips for this tip number 1 is, usually yung AOV is much easier to achieve than the CPM or the CPR. Okay? So most of the e-commerce sellers, they focus on the CPA, or the cost per acquisition. However, based on videos and based on discussions of the e-commerce gurus international as well, AOV is much easier kasi mas controlled mo yung AOV, or yung average order value. So how do we control, or how do we take advantage of the AOV? Ibig sabihin yung pagtaas nung spend ng customer mo sa store mo. Let's say, for example, you are selling 999 item. How can you make that customer buy 3,000 worth na nandun na siya? nandun na siya sa very moment na magpo-purchase siya sa'yo. So, instead of offering 999, how can you make that order larger in quantity and in the amount? So some of the real life tips that we have here is you can create bundles. You can offer to increase, this is, to offer for you, you can offer bundles, sorry. So you can offer this to increase the customer's purchase order. Let's say, for example, you have buy two, take one. And you know that yung amount ng product mo is, it's just, let's say, 100 pesos or 200 pesos. So if the customer buys a lot from you, that single customer, mas tumataas yung value niya kasi hindi ka na nagra-run ng ads ulit, di ba? Do you get my point? So, if the customer buys a lot from you, that's the only time na, let's say, for example, you spend this much to get this customer. So, tumataas yung ROAS niya and bumababa yung CPR mo because this customer purchased a lot from you. You can also offer like buy two, get 50% off the second item. Okay, so for those sellers na hindi masyadong nag-offer ng bundle, I suggest you really do this because this really helps increasing your monthly sales by just reducing also the spend or your ad spend. Okay, so some of the examples will be probably to install quantity break or related apps in Shopify where you can get bundles. Okay, so just research on that. Next, you can also fast scale this Q4. What do we mean by that? I've heard this from one international e-commerce mentor wherein he said, you really have to scale globally. So this is based on his tests. If you are listening right now and you are an international seller, so you just don't only focus on United States, there are also golden countries there na okay ang dropshipping. So these are the countries that he had mentioned. So you guys just take note of this because these are, probably hidden and golden at the same time that probably not all dropshipping has tapped into this market. So you gotta consider this. Okay? Now, for local e-commerce naman, you can also create ad sets per region. I know that most of us are just clicking Philippines and that's all. But it's also very good that you do split test. One of our admins in Ecom Philippines, Ivan Monponbanwa, shout out sa you, bro. Magaling siya at saka masipag siyang gumawa ng mga split test. For example, ad set 1 is 20 years old to 30. Tapos ad set 2, 31 to 50. Tapos ad set 3, 51 to, ganon. So, talagang himay-himay para mas makita niya na, ito palang age level na to, this is performing better. Itong age group na to or itong gender na to, mas bumibili sila. Something like that. Alright? So, this is how we can also scale. And then once you have seen the results after your split testing sa age, so you do age, gender, and also sa Philippines, like you can himay the areas or regions in the Philippines. Let's say you have an ad set solely for Davao, you have an ad set solely for Metro Manila, you have an ad set solely for I don't know, Visayas or Mindanao, something like that, right? You get what I mean? So once you identify nasan yung strength, nasan yung bulk ng market mo on this particular item, then you can do scaling, like scale it heavily, okay? And then you can also, like what I mentioned on the last bullet, you can duplicate your budget, focusing on the age group and gender that converts more. A lot of people in e-commerce are not doing this. Sometimes I'm guilty of it. Like you just click Philippines and that's all. But this is a very important scaling technique as well. So you would really identify where is the market, ano yung pinakamalakas na market for you. Excuse me. Tip number 3, there's also what we call a funnel. Okay, so in this example, most of us in the beginning we always spend a lot of money acquiring customer or yung customer acquisition. So we are so hard in finding new customers that in the end, the bottom line is that we forget the old customers or the people who already bought from us. So I've listed here the funnel, like there's a cold, warm, hot, and existing. So when I say cold funnel or cold audience, you have to engage on this. I'm not sure if some of you are still using engagement posts. Like they really, if you have extra budget to do this, like just get them to know your brand. Just introduce to the new customers or to the new audience that hey, I have a business like this. This is my store, and this is my brand. So, there's also another level of that. Let's say, nakita na nila yung ad mo, napanood yung video mo, nabasa nila yung ad copy mo. There's what we call another funnel or another level of engagement for the customers, which is the warm. So, these are what we call the warm audience naman. These are people who are engaged. So yeah, they enjoyed your videos. They probably watched it until the very end, but they did not click the CTA or the shop now button or the send message. Okay? Yan. So another layer of the funnel is the hot customers or the hot audience, which means these are the people who already bought from you. This is the part where most of the e-commerce sellers forget. Kasi we are so hard on getting new customers and explaining to the new customers that, hey, this is our brand, this is what we do, this is what I sell. However, for the hot customers, we forgot to retarget them. Okay? So for you guys who are doing e-com, it's like I said, it's just a refresher. You already know most of this, but it's a good thing that we are reminded that there's an extra funnel probably that we need to exert more effort to, especially this coming Q4. If you wanted to target most of your customers, if you have been running your store for a year right now, and probably you have already, let's say, 1,000 more. Let's say you have 1,000, 2,000, or 3,000 customers already in your funnel. So I hope that you're using a spreadsheet, like tracking down all the customers that you have, because that's your customer. What you can do is really talk to them again, hire a VA or a bot. You can use a bot to talk to these customers like, hey, let them remember you once again, especially that you are launching new products this Q4. Okay? And then same with existing customers, reacquisition tayo. Okay, kasi mas mabilis magbenta ng product natin sa mga taong kilala ka na nakabili na sa'yo. Okay? But most importantly, the product must be really good, or their experience with you must have been very exceptional. Otherwise, they will not buy from you again. Alright? So that's just a caveat to that. Tip number 4 is what I call the NHA technique. Alright, so what do you do, or what do you need to do when your customers see your ad on their feed? Okay? So letter N stands for they need to notice you. Ito yung mga bago naman ha, yung mga bagong customers that we need to acquire. So letter N stands for notice. Say that with me. Notice. Okay? Ayan, so they need to notice you. Number 1 is that your task or your job is to get them to stop scrolling. Okay? So, dito pumapasok yung mga eye-catching na thumbnails, yung mga mapapa-stop ka talaga. Because remember guys that Facebook is a social media platform. It's like going to check your friends, your family's posts, the updates, stalk mo yung ex mo, di ba? Yan ang ginagawa ng Facebook. However, yes, we are here to, to socialize, light agenda, light engagement. And then there's you as a marketer na suddenly may maganda ka palang ino-offer, no? So that's something that will make them stop. Like, hey, this is a good item. I want to buy this. This is something that will blow my mind, or something that, it changes my my kitchen methods, ganyan, like how I cook, or it fastens my the number of minutes I can cook this, or I can chop this thing, or ang ganda nito sa face, or something like that, right? So you have to make sure that they notice you. And one of the things here is to get one of the key here is to get an eye-catching thumbnail. You just have to sometimes observe other ads na dumadaan sa newsfeed ninyo, and then you judge like what makes this a standout ad, what makes it stand out, what makes it beautiful, what makes it converting, and then you mimic them, you get inspiration from others. Okay, so when we say get inspiration, you don't copy exactly as what it is posted, but try to make your own, or try to make a better one for you. So you can if you're not good with creating videos, there are, you can hire people. We've seen posts from people who can make videos, or you can ask somebody, your friend or something, or someone, or you can also hire in Fiverr. So if this is not your strength, probably you can also delegate. Okay, but your main job as a marketer, as an advertiser, is to make them stop and notice your ad. Next, NH. So H tayo, hook them. So once na-notice na nila yung ad mo, it's very good. Very eye-catching yung thumbnail na nilagay mo. You need to you need to hook them into the ad itself. So example of this is you have to appeal to their emotion, and don't always forget to sell the benefits of the product. I've seen a lot of ads in my own personal newsfeed na minsan walang appeal because I don't know what you want me to do, or I don't know what kind of benefits shall I have when I purchase your item. So dapat alam mo rin kung paano mag-appeal sa emotion. Sometimes when we capitalize on fear, like say sa hair loss, 'di ba? People are scared of losing their hair, so probably capitalize on that. Or how do they look ba? What would, place them into an idea or imagination that what would make me look like if I have this product in my hand? What would happen to me if I purchase this? Especially if your targets are parents and you're selling items for kids, like halimbawa shampoo, ganyan. So what will make you stand out, especially also if your product is, say, organic. So you target people who love the nature, who love to save the earth, something like that. So that appeals to them a lot. So you have to make sure also to really research your market. Guys, the product research and niche research is never ending. So even though we found one very good item, we continuously learn. Okay? So you never stop. You never stop at one product. You never stop at one item. Even though your product is running, and I am guilty of this, sometimes if I find a very marketable or good or winning product, sometimes nagpipetics ako. Naman, nagpapahinga ka muna for the meantime, and you run the product, you let it run until such time na bumababa na yung ROAS. Doon pa lang ako maghahanap ng bagong product or bagong market. But it doesn't have to be that way. It's a continuous process and a continuous learning for everyone. All right? Am I making sense so far? I hope you guys are learning. All right, so yun, we capitalize on the fear, we capitalize on the worry, like if they worry what will happen to them if they don't have this. Let's say mga CCTV cameras, di ba, yung mga gadget and electronics, that's for safety, so you capitalize on that. Or transformation on the body, if you have like an anti-acne cream. Well, I'm not sure if there's if before and after is allowed now, pero most likely not. But you find a way for people to realize what they will become if they purchase your item. Next is, finally, they have to take action. So let them take action by putting a clear direction, buy here, click the link here, go here, and send message, okay? So probably make sure to put this twice on your ad so that they won't forget. Yeah, so that's NHA. Another tip, this is what I also learned in one of the e-commerce gurus. You find ads with face or image that looks at your customers in the eye. ang explanation niya dito, yung hanap ka ng mga thumbnail na nakangiti, yung mga people na nakangiti dun sa ad. Kasi sabi niya, we are programmed to look in the eye. So, kapag tumingin sa'yo yung isang tao, ang tendency mo, titingin ka rin sa kanya. Correct? Because we are programmed like that, human beings. So, make them stop by making an eye contact on the news feed. And another tip is that people are buying the experience. Most people don't know your brand. They don't fucking care kung anong pangalan ng store mo, okay, or your product. They buy the result. You have to put the results at the video or the ad copy. Okay? Another is you have to also disrupt their patterns. So find ads or thumbnails of people smiling at you. I have an example later on here. So another thing that he also mentioned is that you can use black and white picture. Pero don't use it all the time ha. I know a lot of people will be watching this video. Baka makita natin, hala anong nangyari sa newsfeed, lahat black and white. Don't overdo it. Siguro just find one ad, it's just an example. Kasi 'di ba colored yung Facebook newsfeed. So if you use black and white, it will interrupt the pattern like, oh, it's unique. What happened to the color? 'Di ba? So mas-stop sila. Something like that. You get the idea. So this is an example of an ad with a lady smiling at you. So find examples like this, or you can try to make your own. Parang what's this guy selling? So, it's about gyms and fitness, 'di ba? Pero, the girl, hindi sila naglagay ng heavy body workout or gym equipment or something like that. But it's a girl smiling at you. It's an example of a disruptive ad na mapapalingon ka. Like, humans are programmed to look at the person in the eye and, someone smiling at you. Especially if the girl is really beautiful. Number 5. Bite-size testing. Okay. So Facebook only needs about 500 impressions. Well, not about. It's 500 impressions for relevant score. Yung bagong relevant score ngayon, di ba tinanggal na yung relevant score, but the equivalent of it and the delivery insights. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, you don't need to spend a lot of money. Kumbaga parang testing siya. Di ba sa survey, kunwari may pa-survey sa sino yung pinakamagaling na presidente, sino yung sa palagay ninyo na ibobotong presidente. So, they get like, kumuha kami ng 100 respondents. Do you get that? So, Facebook is also like that. So, it would probably reflect on the majority of people on the survey. Okay? So, parang ganyan yung ibig sabihin nitong bite-size testing. You don't need to spend a lot of money testing like 5,000 pesos, 10,000 pesos in just testing. Just gather a percentage of it and see if it will work. So, sabi ng isang e-commerce mentor naman na napakinggan ko sa YouTube, ang ginagawa niya, nagpa-find siya ng 1,500 impressions just to be sure. Okay? So, bite-size testing. Ibig sabihin, yung mga testing na $5 an ad set, that still works. Okay? This is a very powerful thing that I would also like you to remember. If an ad starts bad, it will probably stay bad. Okay? If at the beginning, you are getting low CPR and good ROAS, that's a very good sign. Ibig sabihin, huwag kang ma-inlove dun sa product. And a lot of mentors here in local e-commerce will tell you the same thing. Minsan kasi kahit luging-lugi na, 5 araw na nagra-run or 7 days na nagra-run and wala pa rin siyang purchase, they feel and they think na mag-work pa rin siya na suddenly magkakaroon ng miracle. Okay? So, Facebook is already telling you upfront, right, let's say 24 hours, makikita mo na agad kung winning product to o hindi. Does it make sense? Do you ever have experience like 24 hours pa lang mababa yung CPR tas maganda yung ROAS niya, maraming bumibili, so that's a good indication. Pero within 24 hours and then hindi mo pa rin nakikita yung result, let's say wala talagang purchase or 48 hours, you gotta move on. You have to be ready to kill that already because it's not working. Okay? So if you spend too much on ATC, let's say ATC yung event na fina-fire mo, and then there's no add to cart at all. Just kill it, man. Just kill it. So, another tip. If everyone aims for purchase, diba, that's what most of us like mentors in e-commerce, we always get purchase conversions. That I still do. Everyone does. No, we all aim for purchase. Ang tendency kasi when we all aim for purchase, CPM will really go high because the competition is high. But another thing to consider and another trick is don't go for purchase. Ang instead na ang event na i-fire mo ay initiate checkout or view content. And then once you already captured them, once they already entered your funnel, target them again for a new event na purchase naman this time. Okay? It's a little bit matrabaho, yes, but that's just another way. That's just another suggestion that we can provide for you if you don't want purchase directly. But sure, most of us will go directly to purchase, and that's also perfectly fine. Number 6 tip, just kill it. Okay, so just kill the ads that are not performing. It's relevant to the previous tip that we mentioned. You just don't edit them. Just go ahead and create a new one. And then don't give more than 3 days for testing, especially if your pixel is a really bit old now, like a matured pixel, and has already gathered data. Yeah, so testing is probably about 24 to 48 hours, I guess. Yan. So find the next winning strategy and move on. So bottom line of this tip is that this is for a refresher for people na kailangan ng closure talaga na hindi mag-work talaga to. Naniniwala ako din sa item ko mag-work to. Yon. So what I love about Facebook is that it's a science. It's an exact science. Say that with me. Facebook is an exact science. Ibig sabihin, binibigyan ka niya ng data, hindi ka niya paghuhulain kung winning ba o hindi. Kasi papakita niya yung ROAS mo, papakita niya yung result ng data mo. So, it's just a matter of, sometimes you have to be manhead. I know that you have invested a lot of time and effort creating that video, creating that product. You've researched a lot for that. Ang dami mong backup na data to show that this is really gonna work. However, for you, it's not working. Facebook will tell you that you have to move on. Kung walang ATC, walang purchase after this specific amount of time, then you gotta move on, okay? And then find another one. Kasi I believe, no, based on experience, in 24 hours, ramdam mo kung magpo-purchase ba to or magiging winning product ba to. Tip number 7, it's always easier to sell to an existing customer to acquire a new one. I know it's cliche, I know it's very simple, but let me put that there. Let me put it out there that a lot of marketers only focus on the customer acquisition, yung always yung first part lang. But we have forgotten that we already have existing customers on our database, right? So kung kumikita ka ng 100,000 to 500,000 a month, and you have an existing customer database, you have to utilize that. You have to go back to your old customers, and then you have to sell to them again. Okay, offer them something new, like, hey, I have a new product, would you like to see it? Since you are an old customer, maybe I can offer you free shipping, or since you are an old customer, I can offer you like 20% off, something like that. Okay, so you have to keep a spreadsheet of your data, their email addresses and phone numbers, because that's yours to keep. These are your customers naman as well. So when you have something to offer, make sure to offer them as well before acquiring a new customer. And finally, to end this video, this is the M.Y.C.H. I was trying to find a way to say make something similar to MYMP, like make your mama proud or make your customers proud. So wala akong maisip, so I just thought make your customers happy. Okay, and this is really, really important because a lot of e-commerce sellers right now are just really for profit and for money. And Facebook now is a little bit harder than before kasi left and right merong mga nade-deactivate na ad account, na BM, and I have also experienced that. A lot of mentors and yung mga old Facebook marketers, yung mga 2017 pa nagla-launch, 2016, we all have experienced this. So the bottom line is to make sure your customers are really happy. So what you can do is slip a note, no, parang love letter dun sa product mo, and then you ask them for a direct feedback. Kasi Facebook will ask them, right? Hindi kagaya to dati ng 2016, 2017 na magbato ka ng 10,000, you're really gonna sell no matter what happens. But now there is a customer feedback to make sure that our customers are, you know, are happy, and then that they don't get crappy products. Facebook will now survey all of our customers. If you haven't experienced this yourself, your customers will get a random survey from Facebook, and they will ask, Facebook will ask them, what's your experience, like, I've noticed that you have purchased in this store, so tell us your experience, something like that. And if the customer, and if the customers will give you about 3 na, kasi 1 to 5 yun eh, yung feedback result. So, Facebook will tell you na, oh, mababa yung score mo ha, you have to make sure, pagka bumaba ka ng 2, or yeah, I think 2 yon yung nakalagay dun sa reminder, what will happen is that, pwede ka nilang isuspend, pwedeng mawala yung page mo, and then, if you're doing a great job, Facebook will also tell you. Okay, so this is the link where you can see the customer feedback on your existing stores, business.facebook.com/ads/customer_feedback. So type it in, tapos makikita mo dyan ano yung score nung business mo, if you haven't seen it or if you haven't checked it. Okay, so just to recap, ayun nga, always remember that the quality of your products and the satisfaction of your customers is always a priority. Kasi they can also be word of mouth, referrals, right? So, oy, ang ganda nung watch mo, saan mo nabili yan? Kay ganitong store, punta ka, pili ka. Diba? So, that's another customer who's now your endorser or free endorsement from your customer. Diba? It usually happens to us, like, oh, bumili ako nito sa ganitong klaseng store, punta ka dito. It's referral. And it's easy money and easy customer for you. Okay? So I hope that everyone will crush it this 2019, and my prayers and hope to the Filipino e-commerce is that mas mag-boom pa siya. And I wanted to say thank you for watching this video, especially to the off-university students. This is really for them, but I also thought as I was recording this, I wanted to share it as well with the e-commerce Philippines group. So thank you guys for watching, and we have to enjoy 2019 Q4. Okay, get ready, and I hope to see you on the next videos that I'm gonna be creating. Okay, goodbye for now.